Conversations with Z.
Greetings, welcome to Conversations with Z. My name is Zamakajini, and it is time for a local production review. And of course, I don't do that by myself, I do it with my co-host,
Jabu McDonald.
Yes, and today we are looking at a Gambit Film production. Gambit Films has given us Blood and Water.
Unseen.
Given us Unseen.
Yeah.
And this time around, we're having a look at an adaptation that they had of a series called Monaka. So we're really just seeing how they've adapted that into a South African version. And what this show is about is we get to see Khanyi Adesina, who is really just put into a position where, after years of estrangement, she returns home to fight for her family's business empire, which is, being threatened by, corruption. And she's trying to, fulfill her father's wish, which is trying to turn around how the business is managed and just the challenges that she encounters in doing so. So yeah, Jabu, I'm not sure if you're happy with how I've positioned it. You can add on if there's anything you'd like to add on. If not, you can take us through to how you found the series.
You put it perfectly in terms of what the series is about, and I loved it. I loved the series, and Netflix really did so well with this one. It was the first ever series to actually surpass like 14 episodes. We've never had like a series have like more than.
Yeah, because it's 20.
Yeah, normally in South Africa we have like shows that have 6 episodes and the season is done. And then there's the next season, maybe they have like 7 or 8 episodes or stuff like that. It was the first time and I loved it. I loved it. I'm a big fan of Uxolile Shabalala. She did a stunning job with the character. And the one person that stood out for me, Palace.
Wait now.
Yes, I know.
Wait.
There's more to talk about the cast, but there's a lot of people that impress me on the show. But yeah, we can discuss further about him.
So when you say that one, so would you say Upalas was your number one then? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it's actually rare to get someone who's a supporting cast to actually do so well in terms of the acting. And I hope that next year with the sectors, he doesn't get snubbed. Like, I really think he deserves to be nominated for this one.
Yeah. So, I mean, I completely agree with you, Jabu, in that I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. And I think for me, you know me with my paying attention to detail, right? And picking up the little things. I think for me, Zulu girl that I am, Makajini Webenyati, I think in every single episode my 10 names were said, and trust, it got to me every single time. I melted every single time. But for me, I couldn't get over how the cast was just able to execute so well, just in terms of how Zulu people carry themselves, the different Zulu traditions, if I can call it that. I think for me, I was so impressed by how real it seemed. Sometimes, and you know this, because we would review something and I would point out to you, the grammar wasn't correct, or did they really, was there a language advisor there? But this time around, it was so, they nailed it on the head. Like, they nailed it on the head. I think I was sitting there and I was like, wow. Wow, I remember specifically there was a scene, I think it's either episode 2 or 3, when Ukajeni has passed on. And they're doing that whole thing of they've gone to where he was actually shot. And I think it's the day of the funeral. And I first saw just the incense, impepo, and I didn't see the little branches or tree or whatever it is. And because I grew up in KZN, or I spent a chunk of my childhood in KZN, you get to see different things, right? You're exposed to different things. And I know kuba khona ihlahla. So at first I missed ihlahla, I just saw impepho, and already I was like, I know, but kuba ihlahla. But when they were getting up, I then saw the little tree, and I was like, okay.
They did it.
Okay, they did it. So I think for me that was consistent throughout the show, where, and I guess it's kudos to the cast, right? Because they were really all able to just step into their characters, step into the province where most of the shooting was done. I think there was also just so many nostalgic moments for me, having grown up in Durban. I mean, there's the scene which is quite vivid in my mind, where Mandla and Amira are walking right in front of the city hall, and I was sitting there and I was just taken back to the past. I have so many memories of either catching taxis there, or walking past there, or buying from the flea market there. So for me, it just really made me feel warm and fuzzy inside, for a number of reasons. But of course, I've got a lot to say about the cast, and I think whoever was the casting director did a stellar job, because I think each of the different characters, you were able to see their distinct qualities. The distinct qualities came through. And you know me, when you're reviewing something where there's a lot of Zulu being spoken, you know how much I enjoy that. I think uBuyile Mhlanga for me, isiZulu sakhe, uXolile, sorry, isiZulu sakhe. Guys, I was just blown away. I enjoyed Dawn's character.
Very colorful.
And I feel like she just enjoyed playing that. She was just over the top from the very first episode. She was over the top. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first time ever that I did not like a character being portrayed by Mduduzi Mabaso. But again, it speaks to, he portrayed it so well. I really did not like his character, and I think it's the first time ever that he's playing a role that I don't like. So there's so much to say, but I think, let's talk about other aspects of it, and maybe then just move to the cast itself.
I like that they explored the business side of the show. Like, we normally have shows that have to do with, like, an empire that has to do with mining, what else? Mining, it could be other but I think mining is like the most dominant one when it comes to companies. And this time they explored something different, sugarcane, which is a natural resource. And I remember talking to Dawn King for, was it Dawn or Colleen? One of the cast members, when I was interviewing them, and they were talking about how it's fun that they actually talked about sugarcane, which is a natural resource that's in South Africa, and you never really find black shows talking about such things. Like, farming is a huge thing. We have so many natural resources that could actually make us great wealth, and they actually explored that. And not only just that, the family dynamics of it. I like how it was centered around family, the family dinner. Yes, it was dramatic most of the time, but I actually liked how they had dinner together, and I liked how family was so important when it comes to this. Colina had her own family. She had her own son and daughter, and a husband. Now Muvuyile Naye, he had his own son and daughter on the show, but all of them combined, they still like this one big family. The only thing that divides them is just the hunger for power and the fight to take the main position in the family. I think that's just about, but I like how it was centered around family. And they really gel together, all together. Like, they really felt like a family. And it's very rare to find that not many people connect as a cast to a point where it looks and feels like a real family.
Yes, and I love that you're touching on that, because I think one of the comments I made was around how the theme of fatherhood came out for me. I think there was a scene where Mandla and Sia were talking about fatherhood, or it could have even been between Uzakele and Jabulo. Where they were talking about fatherhood, because I think Jabulo was complaining about how his dad doesn't listen to him, but how his uncle listens to him, and Uzakele is like, oh no, he's just a good uncle, he's not a good father. And that came out so strongly for me. As much as it's an adaptation of an existing series, I really still got themes that I could reflect on and take away, and which I felt, were relevant and impactful. And it's funny how you're saying that they really felt like a real family. Like Jabo, at some point I was looking at Umamkoni, just looking at her and her features, and I was looking at Ukolile, and I was looking at Amahle, and I looked at all three of them, and I was like, these people could easily pass for a real family, like easily. So again, whoever did the casting director, job very, very well done. The family looked like family. And I think again, Umamkoni really bowed out in a big way.
It was really amazing. It was really amazing. She really did a stunning job with this character. And she's always played like a matriarch on most of these shows, but I liked the fact that it's always unique. There's unique aspects to like the matriarchs that she plays. It's not like the same character over and over again. She literally has range in the type of matriarchs that she's played, and I love this one also. And obviously the opulent. I like seeing black rich families on our screens. So there's like a poor family that's still trying to like build themselves up. Sometimes it's just nice seeing a black family that lives an opulent life, and you could see the opulence on the show. Like it really reflected in the wardrobe, the locations, the cars, everything about it just screams opulence.
Well, thank you for making me feel opulent right now, because one of the outfits that Ukani Sile, portrayed by Odile, one of the outfits she wore, I have in my wardrobe. So thank you, I shall take that. I'm opulent. But yeah, should we then just go into our cast and sort of who stood out for us?
Definitely Uzakele, played by Palin Slaza. He stood out for me, and I really loved his work. And I like the fact that we're seeing a lot of young actors invested in the craft. Tabiso,
Ramo, I'll tell you now his surname, and I don't want to butcher it. Ramochela.
Yes, he is going places. He is the next generation when it comes to the actors that we see right now. Even the girl playing Amahle Udinawa Rasile, they are like the next generation when it comes to brilliant actors. And I like the fact that they had legendary actors and brilliant actors at the same time. It sort of shows like the transformation from a generation that's brilliant to another generation that's coming out, that's actually going to be taking over on our screens soon. And I like that. I think they stood out for me in terms of performance. I really love them on the show, and I hope that both of them actually get nominated. They really did a fantastic job with the characters.
No, agreed, Jabu. Completely agree with you. And it comes back to what I was saying, Woti, you got to see the very distinct qualities that they portrayed them so well that you could pick up Utabiso. I remember there was a scene where Ukacheli had passed away, and I think they were about to slaughter the cow, and you see Tabiso's character, what's his name, Nido? You see Tabiso's character there with shades, and I'm just like, dude, we're about to slaughter, why are you in shades? But I think just throughout the show, he just couldn't read the room. I think even on the day of the funeral, his parents got upset with him, or his dad got upset with him because he wanted to go away with some guys who I don't know were going where, but he just made me laugh. So completely agreed with you. He really, really portrayed that character well. Yo, Jabu, this one is going to be tough for me because Woyile. He
Underrated.
played that character so well. He played that character in so well, and in my world, he's not underrated. Ukolile, she was absolutely amazing. I agree with Palance. He was so rebellious. He was just so defiant, and he did it so well. And I don't know what is it, because he also comes from Isibaya, so he's used to the whole you know, how Zulus are meant to carry themselves. And
By the way, he always has daddy issues on all of these shows.
yeah, you
I've
see,
noticed.
I hadn't picked that up, but I also enjoyed Palance and I enjoyed Utabiso. I think if I had to pick my top 4, I think it would be those for me.
They really did a stunning job, and also the whole conflict between Enhle Mali's character with the husband and the side boyfriend, that was entertaining, and the chemistry actually worked so well in terms of what was happening there, and that was also entertaining. Everyone else was entertaining on the show. You know, sometimes you have shows where there's a lot of faces that we know, there's a lot of characters, but they don't utilize all of them. Literally here, all of them were utilized.
Yes.
They had a part to play in
Yes.
each and every part of the show. It's not just them being there. Silo Make was there, and we saw what was his playing, what his character was all about.
Yeah.
We saw what Don Tanega's character was all about. Duduzi Mabaso, Wiseman, Zita, who's the other person? The lady who was on Real Housewives of Johannesburg, like the Indian lady. I just forgot her name.
Tarina Patel.
Yes, Tarina Patel.
Yeah.
All of them had a part to play, and it was really done so well.
Yeah, I also quite enjoyed the CFO Udumsani Ziligas Gamashibana. Also quite enjoyed how he came across.
And it's been a long time since we've seen him on our screen, and I'm glad that he's finally back. And I hope that there's more gigs coming up for him also.
Okay, do you think you're ready to rate?
Yes, I am.
Okay, it's yours. It's yours. Let us get rating. You can go first.
Yeah, 8.5.
8.5. Okay. So I'm giving it a 10, right? And you know I'm stingy with my points.
Yeah.
So I had an internal debate and I was like, I don't want to give them a 10. And then I asked myself the question, why not? And I didn't have a response. So I'll give it a 10.
I think for me the missing point is just when it first started, I felt like the first 5 episodes dragged a lot. There's a point where the funeral was like for 3 or 2 episodes. I felt like it shouldn't have been that long. I think that's just the only negative part about it. And the rest is just good. I didn't like the ending also. I had anticipated something different, but surely that ending means that I hope there's a season 2. I mean, it did well globally. It reached number 10 globally as one of the most watched shows at that time. So I hope that means that they actually do give it like a season 2, and hopefully it gets released soon because we need more.
Yeah. I would be so up for a season 2. I will not mind watching a show that is just going to keep on saying Izithakazelo Zami. They can spend the whole day just saying Kacheni, Boyabenyati, Obsonga Psombuluwe, Mbongo Gazingelwayo. I'm always ready to hear that. But on a serious note, check out Blood Legacy yourselves if you haven't checked it out as yet. Let us know what you think, and we're always keen to hear your views. But until such time, we are going to continue just supporting our own, looking after our own, and coming back here and sharing with you. Looking forward to engaging with you again in the future. Take care of yourself. Stay blessed.